should be like you, Mel.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
Well, good morning, Cherries fans. Good morning, football fans. It's 8 a.m. in the UK. It's 5 p.m. in Australia. It's the 23rd of May, and that can mean only one thing. It's On the Sidelines with myself, Matt, and my co-host,
Paul. Hi, guys. And just checking in with Matt there before. You got a bit of Australian weather over there, which is beautiful, mate. We've had about 13 degrees here and a bit cloudy today, but nothing to moan about. But what are you up to today? Expected temperatures, Matt?
I think about 25.
Lovely,
About 25,
beautiful
I
day.
believe.
Beautiful day.
Absolutely gorgeous out there. So, yeah, it's going to be a hot one today. But this is our final show of the 2025-26 season. So we've got a bumper pack show for you as well. We'll also let you know a little bit later on what we will be doing over the summer as well. But firstly, let's jump into the chat, shall we, Paul, as always, before we bring up Spot the Ball.
Yeah.
There's a few people in there already. But just firstly, guys, all in the chat, let us know your views on the England squad. We will be discussing that today. Who would you have left out of the squad, and who would you have included that has been left out of the squad? There's some really high profile names that haven't made it, so do let us know your thoughts on that. And of course, send your best wishes to our outgoing manager Andoni Iraola as well. We will be touching on that, as well as a certain European story as well. That's all coming up. But let's jump into the chat and say hello to everybody as we normally do. And first in this week was Julie. Hi, looking forward to the show.
Hi, Julie. Hi.
And then we've got David's in. Hope you're well, David. Hope you're feeling better. Good morning, Matt and Paul, and everyone in the chat. Looking forward to the show. Vanessa, good morning to you both. We are all looking forward to the show. Great to have you with us as always. Morning, Matt and Paul. Hello, Chris. It wouldn't be a show without you being in the chat, so I hope you're well. And same can be said for this gentleman as well. Malcolm, good morning, Matt and Paul, and all of the Cherries fans. England, boring, will get knocked out in the quarterfinals. Oh, the joys of a Spurs fan. Malcolm, sunny with 25 degrees here today. Lovely. You've got the same weather as us then, Mal. Beautiful.
Hi, Malcolm. Hi.
Vanessa, looking forward to the show. Sunny days here in Bournemouth. Absolutely. It's lovely out there. Daz is in. Hi, Matt and Paul. 19 degrees and sunny here in Perth. Looking forward to the show. Daz, Cherry Down Under. Yeah, hope you're well, Daz. Thanks for joining us as always. Great to have you in the chat. Colin, good day, Matt and Paul. Looking forward to today's show from a miserable Highlands.
That's where I am. Yeah, a bit miserable today.
Bit miserable.
Yeah.
And Dan, good to see you in the chat. Morning, Matt and Paul. 17 degrees in Poole already. It is, mate. It is nice and warm. So, yeah, let's make the most of this weather. But, yeah, thanks to everybody for joining us, as always. Do please give us a like if you can as well. We try and get the likes up a bit more today. Let's see if we can get some record likes. I think the most likes we've had during a show is 27. So let's see if we can beat that today.
Wow.
Right, spot the ball. So here's today's picture. Now, this is from the earlier encounter with Forest this season at the Vitality.
Wow.
And you've got a choice of A, B, C, or D. So there we go, guys. Do start putting your guesses into the chat. And we will star those guesses. And as always, we will go through them at the end of the show, because Paul's going to remind me to do it. If not, I'm sure Mal will pop up in the chat to remind me to do it like he normally does. So someone will remind me to do it. But Paul, as always, this is the first time you've seen it. I think you've been a little bit lucky the last few weeks and managed to blag it. So are you going to blag it again this week?
I'm going to go for C.
You're going to go for C?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I think the goalie's jumped a bit early there, but yeah.
Okay, everyone's putting quite a few good guesses in. Excellent. Thank you, guys. I'm starring them now as we speak, and we will come back to that at the end of the show. I'll just make it full again for a second or so. So have one last look there. But yeah, get your guesses in, guys. And I shall star them. A, B, C, or D. Spot the ball. Right, there we go, guys. So we're going to carry on with the show. The first talking point today, you would think would be the European story, but we are going to touch on that after this story, because I'd like to get everyone's feeling for this in the chat. Let's have a look at the England squad then. So yesterday, Thomas Tuchel announced his squad for the World Cup. Obviously, we do know that Alex Scott will be joining the squad in the training camp pre-World Cup, but unfortunately was just short of making the 26. So some interesting names there that do stand out from my perspective. I think Spence being in there, I think is quite a surprise. For me, I'm surprised that Lewis Riley didn't get in there. So from the defensive perspective, him and possibly Harry Maguire missing out, I think are two of the names that I'd pick from there. In terms of midfield, big one for us is obviously Alex Scott missing out. But Paul, what's your initial thoughts of this England squad that was named yesterday?
Yeah, well, there's a strange one that jumps out, Ivan Toney, to me. Al Hali. I mean, we haven't heard anything about him for 12 months, have we? After he went. But obviously...
He's actually 40 goals in the Saudi League, which is a good total of goals.
Did you say 4-0?
4-0, yeah, 40.
Wow.
So he's still got some form. But I think from watching Tuchel's press conference yesterday, he's picking players that have sort of special attributes. So Tony, for example, is that type of player that I think you can bring on if you are chasing a game. And also, if any games do go to extra time and penalties, he's the man to, he is a penalty specialist. So at first, when I initially saw the squad, a bit shocked. But then when I caught up with Tuchel's press conference and he was kind of justifying names that he'd picked, I kind of saw his logic behind the Ivan Toney one anyway.
Sorry, Matt. The other one is right next to him, Ollie Watkins. Surprises me a little bit because he's been short of goals up to the last 2 or 3 weeks. He hadn't done much on the field, I don't think. I was surprised he's in, but maybe he's there for a reason also. if we need someone to come on, because he has done it at top level before. I remember he scored a great goal back in the European Championships 2 years ago from the right wing, cut it across to the far post. But he surprised me a little bit. But apart from that, Matt, I think you're right. I mean, Anthony Gordon, we know Harry Kane's going to start. So, yeah, interesting.
Yes. Yeah. Interesting. I mean, there's one area that we haven't touched on that Malcolm's just brought up here. He wouldn't have had Henderson in. Now, I'm assuming that is Jordan Henderson, Malcolm, because there's two Hendersons in the squad. You've got Dean Henderson, the goalkeeper, and Jordan Henderson, the midfielder. Now, yeah, I mean, I know Tuchel speaks very highly if we talk about Jordan Henderson very quickly. He likes to have him involved in the squad. He likes him in the changing room. But do you think that kind of not wastes a place, but do you think that, you know, you've got your leadership in Harry Kane?
Yeah.
There's other players there that I'm sure, you know, like your Reece James and players like that could step up. John Stones that could step up and be part of that leadership group. Do you reckon Henderson is a space that's taken, you know, which may have been a space for someone really young, talented in the likes of Alex Scott?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's a waste of time taking the bloke. I mean, obviously Tuchel knows more about the position he's in with him than we do, but I wouldn't have taken him. Like you say, he could have put a young lad in there, possibly Alex Scott could have been another young player that he just wanted to give a bit of experience to at the World Cup feel of the World Cup. Yeah, waste of time for me. But I mean, is he going to get on? I doubt it. But there again, funny things happen, mate. Yeah, I think Malcolm's a good one there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. Chris is echoing that Alex Scott should be in the squad and playing for England. Totally agree. But I think the good thing, if we're going to take a plus from a negative here, you know, Tuchel has invited him to go to the pre-camp. Obviously, I think there's going to be certain players missing for a period of time due to finals and other things.
Yeah.
So, okay, he's making the numbers up for training, but in terms of getting experience of being with the squad again, Tuchel will get to look at him again. I think that's a good sign that he does have a future with England, with him going there. And I'm sure he's going to learn a lot on that experience, Paul. Do you reckon?
I do, mate. And obviously, he's in his thoughts. Otherwise, he wouldn't be taking him for that reason. So he's in his thoughts. He's on the periphery. Maybe his time is in 2 years in the European Championship. Who knows? But who knows? You could have a couple of freak injuries. You don't know, do you? Who knows? We've got another round of football to go. Yeah, anything can happen. He's there. He's in his thoughts. Yeah.
And Dan has also said he's surprised about Hall and Palmer. I think Palmer's had a few injuries this season, hasn't he? And there's a lot of competition for those places. But Hall, for me, I think is a big surprise. I think he's had an excellent season at left back. I think personally myself, I would have picked him ahead of Spence. I think Nico O'Reilly, I think, starts for me at left back. Personally, I think he's had an excellent season at City. I think he was also named. Man City's Player of the Season as well, and you can see why.
You're spot on with Hall and Jed Spence. If Bournemouth were going to sign a player, I'd definitely sign Hall. I wouldn't sign Jed Spence. But I know Spurs fans don't really rate him, Matt. I know that for a fact. He's a lucky lad.
Daz has just said here, Palmer's been completely off form since his injury. Right, so I don't think that's such a surprising one, really, that he's not been included. But there is a massive competition for those spaces as well. So if you do pick up an injury like he's done this season, you know, you will find it hard to get into this squad with so much talent in that area. Dan, no Trent or Watkins. I think Watkins is in there, isn't he?
He is in.
Yeah, Watkins. Yeah, Ollie Watkins is in there. Trent, I don't think has really made an England since Tuchel has actually been manager, has he? I don't think he favours him. So, we've got the likes of Reece James. I think Konza can play right back as well. We've got Livramento. So we do have cover there. But
what a great point Dan has made. Should be Danny Welbeck. I mean, I know it's a different. Danny Welbeck is not a midfielder, but he'll get you a goal if there's a goal around. Why would you take Jordan Henderson when you've got a player like that? And it might throw the balance out. I mean, they're never going to use all these guys, but that's a very, very good point, Dan, on there. Very good.
Yeah, definitely. Dan has also asked, what do we need tomorrow for AFCB to get to Champions League? Check out the Dean Court social for that one, Dan. And this one is spot on by Malcolm. Nice words from Thomas Tuchel about Alex Scott. I don't know if you saw it, Paul, but
no, obviously I haven't. No, I haven't.
No. But yeah, no, he spoke really highly of Alex, and he spoke about the phone call conversation as well, and how, you know, Alex took the disappointment in such a mature way. That's probably why he's wanting to take him out there, because, you know, of his attitude.
Yeah. As I say, you know, we could have a couple of injuries in midfield, and suddenly perhaps he could even get in the squad. You don't know, do you? Don't know.
Yeah, who knows? He might well be on that emergency list.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what, mate. If it was a choice of Alex Scott or Jordan Henderson, that's a no-brainer for me. But
and he started already. Here we go. Right, Danny Welbeck's father is in the bomb squad, and his name is Stan Welbeck. Stan.
Oh. You got to remember, mate. It's 5:15 in the evening over there, so he may be having assisted comments from some liqueur or something or other. But,
Mashin Joe. Hello, boys. How's it going? Greetings from a wet Sydney, Australia.
Wet now.
Wet. Wow. Sydney, eh? Wet in Sydney. Well, thanks for joining us. Hope you're well. Let us know what football team you support. It's always good to welcome new people to the show. So yeah, great to have you with us. So that's the England squad. Then we will be touching more on the England squad up until the World Cup, but there'll be some more details about that towards the end of the show. But yeah, that is the England squad then. But there's been a certain story this week about a certain football club that's achieved something for the first time in its history. And that's, of course, AFC Bournemouth. Europe's in the bag, Paul. We're not sure exactly which competition for definite yet. Obviously, there's a lot of different scenarios that will be played out tomorrow. I discussed that a little bit in the Dean Court social. But we're there. It's done. It's just rubber stamping now which tournament we're going to be playing in. This is absolutely a massive achievement for a club that just 17 years ago was at the bottom of League Two, all sorts of financial issues, about to drop out of the Football League until that amazing goal from Big Fletch against Grimsby. And then 17 years later, not only have we been lucky enough to watch Bournemouth in the Premier League for sort of 8 seasons or so over the last decade, we're now in the Champions League or the Europa League. This is just absolutely unreal. I mean, I'm still pinching myself from being at the game the other night. What's your thoughts been on this? How's your emotions been this week, Paul?
Well, I had to get up at 4:15. I actually got up about 5 to 4 to watch that game, and I'm really, really pleased I did. I mean, you were there, Matt. You were behind Krupi's goal. You know, that would have been amazing to see that live. The way he took that goal, and you know what frustrates me is over here, you hear all the commentators at half time. You know, all the panel of experts. Will he be at the club next season? I doubt it. They really don't understand Bournemouth at all. You know, we know that he's locked in till 2027, and we know that the club have said he's going nowhere. So they don't understand Bournemouth. But yeah, unbelievable. I want to make a statement here. How did we let this man go, Andoni? How have we let him go? Why did we not do anything? to keep this guy.
I think they've done everything in their power to keep him, Paul. I think it's more family reasons and things like that why they want to make the change. But the thing is, I think and the way I looked at it is that and we'll speak a little bit more about Andoni in a minute.
Yeah.
But I think he's now got a legacy here by achieving this, and he's gone out with a bang. And I'm excited about Marco Rosa coming in now. I really am. I'm really excited by that. The conversation we had with Ben a couple of weeks ago when we did a show on Marco Rosa. I think it's a really exciting time, and it's a shame that Andoni won't see the project through. He's earned that place in Europe for Bournemouth. It's a shame that he won't see that through, but at the end of the day, we've got to look positive at the future. I think we made a really good appointment in Marco Rosa. There's a couple of comments coming in, Paul, just very quickly.
Sure, yeah. Lovely.
So Everton and Croatia.
All right.
Interesting. So yes, Everton, they could play a part in the relegation saga, I think. Are they playing Spurs?
Spurs. Yeah.
So West Ham fans are hoping that David Moyes can help them out tomorrow, but that's going to be very exciting, as well as looking at results and seeing how Bournemouth do to see which competition we end up in, and really hoping it's a Champions League place. That's what I'm hoping for. But there's a couple of comments from Daz and Malcolm, which I'll come to in a minute, guys. Yes, I'm sitting in my backyard watching YouTube. It's raining, windy, and a cold 17 degrees. Time to warm up with some whiskey. Bournemouth did a very good job this season. They did. I think that's a very good point that's made there, Paul. I think we've actually, impressed a lot of the Premier League fan base this season.
Well, 17 unbeaten. It's the most of any team in the top 5 European leagues. No other team throughout Europe has had that run of games, and I fully believe we'll beat Forest tomorrow, but that's in a minute. But because Andoni wants it, and I think the lads will serve it up. Well, I don't think we'll lose, but the lads will serve it up for him, I think. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you remember, Matt, I said we'd beat City. I was 1 minute away from being right, and I said the week before we'd beat Fulham. I was right, and I'm damn sure we're going to do Forest on Sunday, mate. I think we'll beat them. Yeah.
We'll talk about that. We'll get your views and Forest, as we always do, Paul.
I'm getting carried away.
Yeah, you're getting carried. But it's great to get carried away because everyone's excited. Everyone's passionate. We've done this. We've achieved this, and Bill's set a target of 5 years, and he's done it in just over 3. So I say he's done it. The whole team as a collective have achieved it in that time. So ahead of schedule, and also yesterday the stadium has improvements and redevelopment has all been approved by the council. So a really, really big week for the club this week, and let's hope we can end it on a high tomorrow, which we'll touch on in a little bit. But
the ground is now closed, isn't it?
Yes, from Wednesday of this week, after the game on Tuesday night. Yeah, it's now closed. Club shop and everything. I believe the club shop is having a complete refit, and there's lots of enabling works and interior works that are going on as well. So, yes, it's going to look not completely different next season, but I think when we go back, there's going to be a lot of changes. So, really exciting period. But yes, I just can't wait, Paul. I mean, I'm still pinching myself, and I really am. Bournemouth in Europa. I'm glad I've renewed my passport. Let's put it that way. But of course, we also said goodbye to Andoni at the Vitality. And there's a couple of points here that I'm just going to bring up now. One from Malcolm. And it wasn't a question of the club letting him go. It was his own decision to leave. Huge respect to him, which it is. And, the club, would have done everything in their power to keep this guy. But like I say, there's all sorts of different things being said why he's going, this, that, and the other. I think it's just great that we've had the guy here. he's and what he's done to our players. And like I say, let's be excited about the future. I think the Marco Rosa appointment is exciting, and let's see what happens. It's been great to have Andoni in the dugout for us. His football's been amazing to watch. I just wish the guy all the best. What he's achieved for us, he's now got his legacy. His legacy is getting AFC Bournemouth to European football. So, yeah.
Matt, after tomorrow, after the Forest game, the book will close on him. The history book will close on him. And we'll look back in 12 months' time or something, and we'll think, now we know perhaps where he's gone and why he didn't renew. And we might not know why he didn't renew, but we can look back on his time at Bournemouth and think, wow,
Yeah,
I mean, they sing his name the whole game. They sung his name the whole game at the City game, didn't they?
They did
continually. Brilliant.
They did. Yeah. It was. Let's say it's it's time to pay tribute to him. And this is a comment here from Malcolm. A big shout out to Andoni Iraola for everything he and his staff have done for the club. We will touch on one of Andoni's staff member, very briefly shortly. Thank you for 3 glorious years and creating history. You'll always be a legend, and that is absolutely spot on. Yeah. He now has his legacy. In my opinion, he now has a legacy by achieving Europe. Dazza from Shaking Buckets, Fighting Administration, -17, The Great Escape, promotion to the Premiership, relegation, back up, and dizzy heights of being top of the league, a bit for 20 minutes. Now Europe, just wow. Yeah, it's been one hell of a ride. Joe, yes, I'm sitting in my backyard watching YouTube. Oh, yeah, I brought that one up. Yeah. Need Liverpool to win, Man United to win, Man City to win. Yeah, there's all sorts of different ones, Chris. Joe, again, Everton brought in a motivational speaker for the Spurs game. Come on, boys, be part of history. Do your part for the greater good. Mother England's watching and waiting. Save our season by beating Spurs.
Wow.
Club shops closed for 2 months. That's correct. Vanessa, yes, it is. But you can still buy all your goods online. Dazza, so 17 unbeaten so far, not beat by any second game. Best run for any team in Europe. Top teenager scorer and Krupi. What a successful season. Yeah, and hopefully that'll be 18 unbeaten tomorrow.
And I wouldn't put it past Krupi to score tomorrow.
I couldn't agree more. I think he wants to kind of edge that record to make it harder for the next person to beat. David Da Costa, exciting times. Bournemouth has arrived, and take note, big boys. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a big message out there for the top 6, or the so-called top 6, should we say. Joe, Moyes out. Total capitulation in the race for the top 6. Your manager's better than ours. If there were more games, he'd drop down into the bottom 3. 3 points from the last 18 is relegation form. I didn't realise they'd been so bad, but
no.
Yeah, wow. I mean, you think of the infrastructure Everton's got now with that stadium. They should really be hosting
European
football. But like I say, you're always there on merit. You deserve where you need to be. AFC Bournemouth, the history makers and record breakers. Yeah. I mean, just look at the history of the last 17 years, and there is so much history making and so much record breaking amongst those years. It's
what it could even be weirder. It could even get, in a strange sort of way, could even get better, because who's to say we wouldn't get into the final of a European competition next year?
Well, look at this season. Arsenal, Villa won the Europa League. Palace next week. English teams at the moment are really strong in European competition, and you can see why, because we're always getting the most points and having that extra place given to us. And I mean, where can that European journey take us? It can take us anywhere. So it's so exciting, really is. But Andoni will obviously part, and we thank him. We wish him all the best, and just Good luck to you. If you do come up against Bournemouth, then I hope you have a terrible day. But other than that, I wish him all the best, and let's see where his next position takes him. Right, so let's move on. So yes, Villa win the Europa League. Did you see that game at all, Paul?
I only watched the goals, to be honest. I mean, it was one-sided, wasn't it? Villa deserved it.
Yeah, I think the first sort of 10 minutes was cagey, but as soon as that first goal went in, and a couple of brilliant goals, and obviously by Villa winning the Europa League, it sort of brings more of a scenario into play as well. But yes, the first European Trophy of the year is won by a English club. So can we do a hat trick? Do you reckon we could do the hat trick, Paul? I mean, I think Arsenal PSG is a big ask personally, but can Palace add to that?
Well, I think Palace might do something, but I think PSG are on a different planet. When you watch them play, I mean, I know it's Arsenal, but I saw them. They scored 7 goals in one game. You wouldn't really want to meet them in the final, would you? If you could have avoided them. But they're an amazing side. And Zabanye can't even get in the team. He's on the bench. Yeah, unbelievable. I paid 53 million or something, and he's not even playing for him. He's not good enough to get in the team. Incredible.
Yeah. It's makes you wonder if he'd have stayed with us, he'd be enjoying a European trip with us now. But players go off to bigger and better things, and it's a big pool when a big name club come in for you, isn't it? I
remember Andoni saying that he particularly didn't want Zabanye to leave. I remember him making that comment, saying he really regretted he went. He really wanted to keep him, but that didn't happen. So yeah.
Well, let's see if Palace and Arsenal can add to the European trophy cabinet this season. Yeah. Obviously, Spurs. It was in Spurs' cabinet last year, and look at what a difference a year makes there. But yes, so here's one that has an interesting point. I don't think this will happen because there's a big goal swing in it, but there is the possibility of a Champions League playoff. And this is kind of the scenario. So the unlikely scenario where Bournemouth could trigger an incredible playoff game with Liverpool to decide the final Champions League spot would require Liverpool to lose 1-0 to Brentford and Bournemouth to smash Forest 5-0. Now that would leave both teams on identical goals scored, goals conceded, as well as head-to-head and away goals scored. So Liverpool beat Bournemouth 4-2 in the summer before losing 3-2 at the Vitality later on this season. So according to the Premier League's rule C17, this scenario would lead to a never-before-seen situation where the two teams would battle it out in an end-of-season clash. So the rule states if two clubs cannot be separated by operation of Rule C17.1 or C17.2, a playoff on a neutral ground, the format, timing and venue of which shall be determined by the board. So I believe that's the Premier League board. The Cherries know their most likely route into the competition would be to match Brighton's result against Manchester United and hope Liverpool beat Brentford and Villa lose to City. That would guarantee Bournemouth a spot, courtesy of an unusual 6th place finish. So I just saw that the other day and thought that's very interesting if that scenario was to happen, but it's obviously highly unlikely. We have smashed Forest 5-0 before, but would we do that at the City ground? Tough place to go, but we can definitely get the win there tomorrow. But I just thought that was an interesting point there of how it may actually could be a playoff. Obviously, these scenarios never really happened before. There's been talk of a playoff game if title and things in the past and like that. I just thought that was quite an interesting one.
We'd have to give Andoni another send off, Matt.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. I'd have to ask him to stay on for an extra few days. But Brian, good to see you again. Morning, guys, and chat. Morning to you.
Hi, Brian.
Dazza, personally, I think we lost Andoni due to him losing star players and being unable to build consistency in a team. Just my opinion. And just like us, we all have fun. Yes, Darren. Yeah, valid point, though. Yeah, I mean, again, that could have also added to the decision. Okay, moving on. And Pep, he is leaving City. Do you think time's right for him to go, Paul? I mean, he's been there for a decade. He's won 6 Premier Leagues. He's won the League Cup. It must be at least 5 times. I think he's won about 3 FA Cups now. European Cup. I think he's won every cup going at the club in that decade. Are you surprised by this? Think it's the right time?
Well, he has got a year to go, but apparently he's suffering with his health a bit, or so he said. Which I'm not surprised with the nervous tension that would be surrounding him at City 24/7. Apparently he's going upstairs. He's not quite leaving from what I'm reading, but who knows whether that's true or not. It might just be paper talk. Being a director of football at City, and he's going to do like scouting, sort of looking at other clubs and seeing who he can bring in for City. I mean, he certainly had enough money to spend. Was it 2 billion over 10 years or something?
Wow,
I mean, I read it somewhere. It was some ridiculous figure. And if you can't run a team with that sort of money, then, I mean, he might be classed as one of the greatest managers of all time, but he's had the money to do it. I mean, yeah, that's my opinion. But, new face, we'll see what happens, won't we?
Well, yes. And I did read that he would be going upstairs.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah. Couple of points here. Playoffs happen in other countries. It would be fun for a neutral, definitely. Pep has changed football in every country he's coached in. An absolute legend. Yeah. I don't think anyone's really made an impact here so much since I think maybe Wenger came in at Arsenal in the late 90s. I might be wrong there, but he made a massive impact when he came in. I think Pep's had the same effect. Sort of 20 years later. I can think of 115 reasons why Pep is leaving. I'll tell you what, if there's one man that's going to crack a joke, it's that one. I like that. That's well done. But yes, Pep does leave at the end of the season. It looks like he's probably going to go upstairs. But, still to have his influence at the club's going to be massive if he does do that. And yes, Tommy's a wanted man. So Tommy Elflick, former Bournemouth captain, assistant to Andoni this season, has been reported by the Telegraph that Bristol City are targeting the appointment of Tommy Elflick as their new head coach. The 38-year-old is under consideration following his work as Andoni Iraola's assistant at Bournemouth. The former defender took on a role with the Cherries in September 2021 and worked under the likes of Gary O'Neill and Iraola. Elflick has never had a managerial role in his career, but has earned a reputation as a promising young coach as part of Andoni Iraola's backroom staff. Now, the sad thing is when managers move on and things like that, and I think from what Ben was telling us a few weeks ago, Marco likes to bring his own team in, so it does look like maybe Tommy, Sean might not be at the club next season. Is this the opportunity now for him to take on a job? I mean, Bristol City is a good-sized club. It's in a decent division. Tommy's got experience of playing at that level. I could possibly see Sean Cooper going with him as his assistant, possibly. So maybe this is the right club and the right time for him to break into a managerial role.
Well, he's made a success of what he's done. Captain of Bournemouth, got on promotion. And he's worked alongside Andoni. I'm sure he's learnt stuff. Every week he's worked with Andoni. He must have learnt a lot of stuff. I think we're the first channel to break that news. I don't think anybody else has broken that news. And this is why people want to watch us, because we come out with stuff like this. And this is a strong possibility, Matt. And congrats to you for finding that. I think he'd take the job. if he was offered it, I think he'd take it. Why not?
Yeah, I think it's a great little setup at Bristol City. I
Yeah.
mean, I've been to Ashton Gate in the past. Good sized stadium.
I mean, Bournemouth have got a great rapport with Bristol. We got Semenyo from there. We got Alex Scott from there. You know, the list just goes on. I think somebody went there. I can't think of his name. Pittman. Did Brett Pittman go there?
Pittman did go there. Yeah, that's correct.
So there's a lot of connection there, and they talk. You know, someone would have been on the phone, and man, I think he'd go well. Yeah, personally. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, that's right, Dan. That's what we were just mentioning there. Marco will probably bring in his own team, and I think that's what Ben.
Yeah, he will.
Ben was saying there's something similar. I think on the show Ben joined us on that. He does like to appoint his own backroom staff. So, what an opportunity that will be for Tommy.
Yeah,
love Tommy as a player. Thought he was a great leader on the pitch. He's obviously got a lot of qualities off the pitch in the dugout. So if that does materialise and he does take that job, or he does take another job elsewhere, best of luck to you, Tommy. And I hope everything's a success. But at the same time, I would love to see him stay in the dugout at Bournemouth. Sure. So, but yes, so that's just a bit on Cherries. Also, recently and this week, Spygate. So my question is: have Saints been rightly punished? Well, so they've been caught spying on opposition training sessions during this season on 3 separate occasions. The Middlesbrough occasion during the playoffs, Oxford United, I think at the tail end of last year, and then Ipswich Town fairly more recently. So the scandal exploded when Middlesbrough staff caught a Southampton analyst filming their training before the playoff semi-final, and the individual had professional surveillance equipment, including a long-range camera, directional microphone, and live streaming capability. So they've been expelled from the Championship playoff final. As we know, they've had a 4-point deduction, and when you look at it from a financial perspective, they're missing out on about a £200 million jackpot for being promoted to the Premier League. So, have they been rightly punished? Let us know your thoughts in the chat. What's your opinion, Paul, on this?
Well, before I forget, it's been written over here that Scott Parker is in the running for the job. I mean, this guy's going to get fired. It's only a matter of time. The Saints fans, if you look at the stuff on YouTube, they're fuming. And you feel for the fans. They've done nothing wrong. They didn't even know. I mean, the players will get over it. If they want to leave, they'll have another big payday. I feel for the fans. I think the Saints have been punished twice. Apart from being thrown out, they've also got a deduction next season. I thought that was ridiculous. I mean, if you're going to do a punishment, you don't do it twice. Extremely harsh. And the poor people at Hull, I mean, they've become the victims in all this because, there they were, quite happily preparing to play Southampton, and now halfway through the week, they're thinking, hang on a minute, we might have to prepare to play against Middlesbrough. And they've done that, and quite right. They've actually come out, and this whole city have actually come out and said, if we don't win, we're going to put in a claim against the EFL for being treated the way they've been treated. I mean, there's another.
They've been prepping to play Saints.
That's exactly right.
So it's kind of been. It's a massive, difficult situation for everybody involved, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And I think you hit the nail on the head. The ones I feel sorry for is the Saints fans.
Well, can I I'll put this scenario to you, Matt, and everybody that's watching. You think of the club that you support. I mean, Matt and I support Bournemouth. You think of Machina Joe in Sydney. He supports Everton. Imagine if you were in the playoffs at our club or their club or anybody's club, Spurs, whoever you like, and that happened to them. How would you feel if Andoni, if things were different, Andoni had us up there in the playoffs, we were going to Wembley in the playoff final, and suddenly some idiot's been out there with a phone. I mean, it's No one else is going to do it, are they? If people get clobbered like that, Matt. But it's too harsh. And a fine, I don't know, perhaps another alternative might be that they just promoted Hull to go through, because none of them deserve it. Middlesbrough, in my opinion, don't even deserve to go and have another go at it because they lost. I mean, it wasn't as if there's a 16-foot high fence out there. Apparently, it was a training ground that was open. The whole thing's crazy. But we shouldn't dwell too long with the time factor.
There's a couple of comments. I was just going to move to the comments quickly.
Sure.
Why don't they just use Scots?
Scots. Not sure what that means. Scots.
I would imagine that the majority of teams have spies watching opponents. Not a new thing, and Phil Saints have been hard done by.
Twice.
That's also another argument. I'm sure that it happens and people just don't get caught.
Johnny.
We love the show. Thank you for that. Enjoying the excitement of this season. Thanks, guys. Great and informative show as always. And thank you for your continued support.
Just got to say, Matt, hats off to Johnny here, because he's been texting me through the week. He's been following the Bournemouth situation. He's now become a Bournemouth fan because of this show, which is brilliant. And he lives amongst all the Wolves supporters in Bundonoon, but he's actually become a fan. Yeah, he's become a fan through the show, so it's brilliant, Johnny.
That's excellent. Yeah, that's lovely. That's lovely to, if we've created another fan, then this is worthwhile. Yeah. Scouts. Okay. Exactly. Why don't they just use Scouts? Absolutely. David's going in hard here. Right decision, but Hull should go up. Hull have done nothing wrong. Absolutely.
I agree.
Probably the right decision, but don't agree with the -4 on top. Some heads will go in the coming days and weeks, and rightly so. I don't know whether. Do you know what? I think if you're going to give them that sort of punishment in the first place, I mean, it could be worse. It could be -17 points. I mean, I think -4 isn't going to really hamper their season so much.
Why punish twice?
Yeah. Like you say, I mean, the main thing is really, football is fans, and without fans, there ain't no football. And the fans have been penalised here. They're the ones that are, and it's none of their fault. But just wondered what everyone's sort of feeling was on it. Yes, that was one of the stories this week. I think it actually broke while I was at the stadium. On this week. Okay, it's come to that time again. So last week I think we were 50% spot on, Malcolm. Absolutely. I think we were 50%, I believe.
For the game, we've done about 14 shows, Matt, and we're about 50%. So we're not good and we're not bad. But you wouldn't want to follow us.
Average. So this one, average. So this results could throw everything in the balance to making it either average or fairly good or fairly poor. So we better do well on these ones. But the fixtures are all on the same day. All at the same time. We know how the last day of the season works. So Brighton face United. Burnley play Wolves, which is pretty much a null-involved game, isn't it, really? It's a sort of practice for the Championship next season. Crystal Palace play Arsenal, champions already. Fulham, Newcastle, Liverpool, Brentford. We all know which games affect Bournemouth here. Manchester City, Villa. Nottingham Forest play a certain AFC Bournemouth. Sunderland play Chelsea. Spurs, big one, play Everton. And West Ham United play Leeds. Now we're going to go through as normal, and we're going to sort of give our thoughts and predictions. If you want to chuck them into the chat, please do. We'll bring them up on screen, and we're going to go from the top to the bottom. Actually, no, we're going to start at the bottom. Actually, at the relegation. Let's start there, shall we?
Okay. Cool. My personal thoughts. These are only opinions of Matt and myself, and you guys have obviously got your own opinions. But West Ham Leeds, I think it's going to be a draw. There, I think we've found out twice that Leeds are a very difficult team to play. Although they might be on the beach, I'm going for a draw, Matt. What do you reckon?
Leeds win.
Right, yeah, Could well
I'm
be.
going for a Leeds win. I feel, and I've said on this show a lot, I've always had a soft spot for West Ham. Used to loan a lot of players to Bournemouth, when I was younger.
Yeah.
And, Jermaine Defoe, for example.
Rio Ferdinand.
Had the pleasure of watching them.
Yeah.
But I just think it's a little bit too late now for them. I don't think, I think with that 2-point deficit there anyway. I'm going with a 2. I'm sorry, West Ham, but I'm going with a 2, probably a 2-1 Leeds, I think. And then Spurs Everton, that result won't matter if that result is the case. But I don't know. Do you know what? I still don't think Spurs will win. I think that's going to be a draw.
Right. Well, yeah, I think it could be an odd goal to Spurs. Sorry, Machina Joe. I've backed West Ham. I've backed West Ham to go down all season, but I've got to go Spurs just only because they're at home. I don't think there's going to be a lot in it. But
I think this is probably the only time that David's complimented me recently. Well, I'm glad I've managed to make you smile at the end of the season, David. Anyway, 2-0 West Ham. 3 offences. Okay, yeah, that's going back to the previous topic. Here we go, Mr. Sensible. If you put £10 on England to win the World Cup, you will lose £10. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you, Daz, on that one. Leeds 2, Hammers 1. Yeah, agree with that completely. Man United.
That's Brighton and Hove he's talking about up top.
West Ham. Yeah, we'll get to the Brighton one shortly, but just for your results so far, Chris, so that's 2-1 Man United and West Ham to win 2-0, is it?
No, West Ham to lose 2-0.
Oh, okay. West Ham to lose 2-0.
Yeah.
Okay, Spurs 1, Toffees 2. Sunderland 0, Chelsea 1.
Could see that.
Apparently Leeds have 9 players out. Yes, now that's just reminded me. I did see that somewhere earlier on in the week.
Why?
Probably with injury things, maybe. If Colin's in the chat, Colin might be able to shed some light on that.
Yeah.
Everton 1-0.
To lose, Spurs to beat Everton 1-0. Spurs to beat Everton 2-0.
Oh, there we go. That's what we think. Well, let's go back. Let's start from the top now. So sure. Brighton, Manchester United. Obviously, this is one where we want a result. So, and I think Carrick's now been announced as the head coach. So I am going to go with a draw.
Me too. Yeah, a draw. Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to go with a draw.
I think so. And Matt, I'm moving on to the next game, Burnley Wolves. I think a draw would probably work. Yeah. Palace Arsenal. Looking at Palace Arsenal there. Arsenal for me, they'll be out to have a party. I think they'll do Palace. Fulham Newcastle.
Draw.
Wow, I'm going to go with an Eddie Howe win, mate, at Fulham. I think
Liverpool Brentford.
We need Liverpool to win, and they probably will because they'll want to win.
Mo Salah's last game as well, isn't it?
With Slot, mate. Who knows with Slot what can happen? That's the problem.
I'm going with a Liverpool win. I'm going to go Liverpool 2-1.
Yeah, cool. Like it. I think I'll join you. And City Villa. Definitely going with City for Bournemouth.
I'm going to go with 3-1 City.
Yeah, I think they'll do it because it's Pep's last game, mate. They'll be pushing for him.
And Nottingham Forest Bournemouth. I'll get your points on that very, very shortly. My points on it, do check out the Dean Court Social. I can see Darren's putting in a few scores here, and Chris as well. Colin, let's bring these up. So Daz is going with a Cherries win, 3-1 at Forest. That'd be a good scoreline, that. I love that. Liverpool 2-1. Yeah, agree with you, and I also agree with Chris on that one. Fulham 1, Newcastle 1. Yeah, I got a feeling it's going to be a draw. Just got that feeling. Leeds 2-0.
And Colin, if you are there, if you've got any information, I know you're a huge Leeds fan, mate. Try and let us know why there are 9 players out, whether it's injuries or what's going on. If that's the truth, if you can get a comment in before the end of the show, would be interesting.
Everton win 1-0. Sorry, Paul.
No, finished. Everton to win 1-0, Spurs to go down. Yeah.
Brighton 1, Man United 2.
No, you're fine.
Tony, hope you're well. Good morning, gents. Good to see you this fine morning. Yeah. Sorry, mate, but I think it looks like you guys are going to go, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which is such a shame. Sorry, mate, but yeah, it looks like from our predictions anyway. Let Moyes do the job tomorrow and then he can go. Yeah, no, I'm gutted for West Ham, Tony. But again, if those watching haven't checked out Tony's channel, Hammers Football TV, don't have to be a Hammers fan to watch it. He does all sorts of different shows on there as well. Do jump across and give that a like and a subscribe as well. Really good channel. And he gets a lot of good guests on there, gets some good panels on there as well. So, do check out Hammers Football TV. Here we go. Sunderland 3, Chelsea 0.
Wow.
Yeah, possibility there. Forest 2-4. Wow. That is an entertaining game.
Yeah. I'd take that, Chris. Hey, Murray. Hi.
Murray's going for a 2-0 Bournemouth. Leeds do have several players unavailable. Cheers, Mal. Mal's the man in the know. He's always the man in the know. If that's why I like Mal being in the chat, because if I've stuck on something, I'm like Malcolm, and he goes and finds out, or he knows already. So brilliant, top work, Malcolm. If we do go, Matty, been a pleasure knowing you in the Prem.
Just to Hammers Football FTV rather, just very briefly. It seems when you listen to the West Ham fans, they're resigned to going down, to me. Whether or not that's true, perhaps you could let us know in a one-liner, but they just seem to think they're doomed and they're gone. It's a bit sad, but,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, at least 6 are out due to injury and illness. Wow.
6 now, right. Illness, that's interesting.
Paul, below you, does he have a channel? No. He just does on the sidelines with myself.
I'm in Australia. I'm in Australia here, so we haven't quite got electricity yet over this end, but it's coming. Apparently, that's a joke. It's all right. It's a joke. But I'm just Matt's co-host, which we love working together, which is great. So.
Thank you for that, Paul. Lovely comment there. Already subbed Tony. Good. Glad you subbed over to Tony's channel there. Good luck to the Hammers from Malcolm. Josh Young. Yeah, great to see you, Josh. Thanks for joining us. I'm still unsure if we'll be playing our European games at Dean Court. I think there's all sorts of talk going on about that. From my knowledge, I think we will be, but who knows what will happen. But thanks for joining us. Drop us a like and subscribe. Great to have you with us in the chat. Sunderland to beat Chelsea. Nick, another great channel here. Nick's World of Football. Another one to like and subscribe to. Some real good content on here. Sorry, Paul.
He does some good stuff, Nick. He's a good lad. Yeah, good. He's in Australia as well, for people that are wondering. Yeah, go for it, Manny. Yeah.
There is a majority that feel that Paul, I won't give up until tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just see him.
No worries, Paul would have subbed to you if you had a channel.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you. You can send me the money. I can start one if you like, mate. But
we all West Ham and Everton fans this Sunday. Thanks, Paul. I take an AFC Bournemouth win. It's going to be decided by bad decision VAR unless Spurs turn up. There
Could
we
be
go.
anything. Yeah.
But that's the fixtures for this weekend for one final time for this season. And that's our predictions. So let's see what happens.
Exciting, Matt. It's exciting.
We're coming towards the end of the show now.
Yeah, good.
Just very quickly, one comment come in. Speak to Matty, Paul. He's loaded. Surely he's told you that.
Well, look at all. He could flog his shirts and start a channel, mate. I tell you.
Well, yeah. I don't think I'll be doing that anytime soon.
He's nearly got as many shirts as Man City have got charges. He's heading up the 115, mate. But
we got another spot the ball guest, or in this case, spot the ball. So yeah, cool. I put that into the comments there. So that's bringing us towards the end of the show. But we do have one more feature. As everybody knows that watches regular, myself and Paul are very big music fans. And most weeks or occasionally, we do try to have a connection with a musical artist and the beautiful game. So today, Paul has picked our artist this week. And as we finish the season, we're finishing with probably the biggest music legend we could probably finish with. And Paul, that man is
Sir Paul McCartney. What a great photo. Look at the jacket. Love the Beatle jacket on him there. Yeah, brilliant photo, mate.
Yeah. It's a big one this week. Just quickly, just some comments. Just sub to Nick's channel. Cheers for that, Tony. Everybody likes to support everybody, don't they? That's the great thing about this community.
Yeah.
David, morning. Spot the ball, D. Right, I'll star that one. Thanks, David. It certainly is, Sir Paul. I want West Ham to stay up. Sorry, David. I've got to agree with you there, Josh. I want him to stay up as well. Definitely. There's lots of comments coming in here. Love Paul. I think we all love Paul. Paul, talking to Paul and Paul, I'll hand over to Paul, who's going to talk us through this.
For sure, mate. Yep. Well, there you go. We'll move on. Born James Paul McCartney in Liverpool, but his parents always called him by his middle name. His debut solo album, McCartney, which I happen to have here whenever we'll get there to that, but played every single instrument himself, including bass, guitar, drums and piano. Met John Lennon in 1957 and joined John's group The Quarrymen, which became the Beatles. And after the Beatles disbanded, he formed Wings is coming up, I hope. Well, there you go. He resumed his solo career in 1980 and has toured as a solo artist since 1989. He's sold, it's a long way over 100 million records, I'm sure. He's had 3 careers, really. Has written and recorded, look at that, 32 number 1 songs. Inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice, once as a Beatle and once as a solo artist, quite right. Brilliant stuff. And I won't bother to read through those albums, but if you look to the right, you'll see, when I talk to, and I've spoke to a lot of Beatle fans, and I know a lot of people that love the Beatles and Paul McCartney, and the top right album, if you haven't ever heard that, guys, take time out to listen to Ram. Beatle fans believe that is his most popular, his best solo album, Ram, and I'm right up there with it. Flowers in the Dirt was he cooperated with Elvis Costello to do that one there. Obviously, we can see Paul is Love, that's the live album down there. I'm thinking it's Abbey Road, but that is his live concert that he did back in, I think it might have been late 80s, that one. And Pipes of Peace, Paul McCartney, they're not one of his greatest albums, but you know, this guy, we have to think in terms, this guy has brought more happiness to people throughout the world probably than any other person that's ever lived with his music. You know, when people get down, they turn to his music and it makes them feel good. When people are struggling, it makes them feel good. And you really have to give this guy a massive pat on the back for the way he's brought music to the world. absolutely amazing guy, as well as John Lennon, as a partnership with songwriting and music, incredible music. And it'll still be here 50, 100 years' time when we're long gone. People will still be listening to Abbey Road or Rubber Soul or the White Album. They will. It will still be out. It'll still be out there.
Just on this one, I actually quite like Give My Regards to Broad Street.
Beautiful. Yeah.
There's a great track on there called No More Lonely Nights, which I believe David Gilmour from the Pink Floyd plays guitar on.
Yeah.
And just bringing it bang up to date, the boys of Dungeon Road, is it? Dungeon Lane? The new album that's coming out. I've heard a couple of tracks off that, and that sounds like a really good album.
I mean, you could do a whole show on this guy, so we won't dwell on stuff. But here we go again. Look at this lot: Wings, Wildlife, Red Rose Speedway, brilliant albums. Band on the Run, Venus and Mars, Wings at the Speed of Sound, London Town, Back to the Egg, and the albums on the right to go through. London Town, beautiful picture of
Funny quote from John Lennon. When asked, is Ringo the best drummer in the world? John replied, Ringo isn't even the best drummer in the Beatles.
Well, quite. Well done, Josh. Well done,
comments.
Josh.
I'm going to quickly go through some comments before we carry on, Paul, if that's all right.
Yeah, fine.
Great show once again. Really enjoyed it. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Dave, as always. Saying thanks to Josh there for the West Ham to stay up. People subbing to each other's channels there. Great show. Enjoy the weekend. Off out now to enjoy the sun. Enjoy the sun, mate. Hope you have a great weekend. I hope it sort of works out for you, mate, tomorrow. Ram on. Keep an eye out for a new episode on Nick's channel, RE the World Cup.
Yep.
And not only that, Auckland FC are in the A-League final today, starting in about 10 minutes, and they play Sydney FC.
Wow.
So obviously Auckland FC owned by Bill Foley. Is the top right album a Welshman and a girlfriend? Just sub to Nick. Cheers for that. Brian. Everyone there having a bit of a laugh at the joke. The Flowers in the Dirt album is a great one. This one, a very typical Paul McCartney title song. Sorry. Band on the Run, superb album.
Yeah.
McCartney was great at taking ideas and turning them into 3-minute pop songs.
True, Murray.
And a great show, guys. Listening in while fixing kitchen cupboards. Have a cracker day, Matt. Yeah, and you as well, Colin. Cool. Right. Yeah. Back to you. Should we move on to the next bit? That's the Wings album. My favourite one there's London Town. Band on the Run, I think, just stands out on its own. It's one of those albums that is just, one of those ones that everybody loves. But I also like a bit more of an obscure album sometimes from acts as well. So Band on the Run is a brilliant album. But for me, I also love London Town. But this is what connects them to football, Paul. Nottingham Forest, who is our opponents tomorrow, adopted the hit song Mull Kintyre. So obviously that's the name of today's show. In 1978, it's played before kickoff. So if you've been to the City Ground, you would have heard it at every home match. Supporters altered the lyrics to reflect the local surroundings. So, for example, mist rolling in from the Trent, which is the river near to the stadium, and it was McCartney's biggest selling single. Selling over 2.5 million copies, one of the best sellers in the UK, and I think the only single to beat it, I believe, was Band-Aid in 1984.
Right.
But I could be wrong there. But done it again. Look, that kind of concludes our music. So, Paul, do you want to quickly show some of your choices? I haven't got a choice, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about showing the albums because we've looked at albums. There's just two little items I'd love to show you. I've been lucky enough to see Paul McCartney 3 times live. And I go back to my great mate, Dave DaCosta. We went in 1973, would you believe, to the Winter Gardens in Bournemouth. and we saw Paul McCartney there just after he'd left the Beatles in his prime. I mean, he was a young fella, and he was incredible. Dave will back me up on that, I know. There's just a few things. The second time I saw him, I got this beautiful program. This was the program that was issued at his concert. I think it was about 20 quid, but so worth it. It's beautiful cover on it. And I turn it over to the back. Again, we've got Paul there in all his glory. Fabulous program. I had to buy 3 of those, one for my son Adam, and one for Dave, and one for myself. And I tell you what, they're really heavy. I had to carry those 3 programs around for about 3 or 4 hours. But it was worth it. Now I've got this, which is very briefly, it's the Beatles when they first came to Australia in 1964. This is a replica or a reissue of the program there. And I'm just going to show you just a couple of pages. I know we're running short of time and we won't be long. In those days, if you look at the adverts in there, they're quite funny. You can see Country Life cigarettes. That's right, and they're 3 and 4 for 20. A packet of fags. That's interesting, isn't it? It gets better in this program. Have a look at the shoes that were on sale for 99 and 11. Malcolm would remember these figures, I'm sure, and perhaps Darren. Look at those shoes, Beatle shoes there. Well, they weren't. They're not Beatle boots. They're just shoes. Get back, Jojo. Great choices. Yeah, well, that's Let It Be. Yeah. So there's a pair of shoes you could get for 99 and 11. You'd like a pair of them, Matt, wouldn't you?
Smashing.
Yeah, and I got one other small thing, and then we need to wrap up because we're on a bit of a tight schedule. This is really so funny. This is an advert in the program again for a Morris 1100. And if you wanted one of those beauties, brand new, was 960 quid in 1964, which is quite expensive. And according to this program, this is the vehicle that the Beatles, or the Beatles entourage and the Beatles were driven around in a Morris 1100. It's ridiculous, isn't it? But they're also obviously taking in other vehicles. But that's a bit of Beatles history there for you. There's so much stuff. And just the last thing, and then we're off. You want to get a great McCartney album. That's
yeah.
All the best from Paul McCartney. It's a brilliant album. Look at the artwork in here. You open it up. It's called a gatefold if you open it up. Can you guys see that all right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that covers everything from Solo through to Wings, doesn't it? Correct. I think has that one even got the frog chorus on it?
No, I don't think so, Matt. No, it hasn't. No. But it's got everything you want. It's got No, I'm just checking. Got some great stuff on there.
It is right, isn't it? It was called the Frog.
Yes,
Report, wasn't it?
Yeah, he did a few kids recordings there. He did that for his daughter. I know. Yeah, he did some funny stuff. But one of the great artists of all time, Paul McCartney, Sir Paul McCartney. Wonderful stuff, Matt. Thanks for a great night. Had a great night. Unless there's anything you need to read out.
Well, yes, we just want to say thank you to everybody for their support since we started the show back in January. We will be putting the show to bed, our regular show, until August. But we do have a little something in between now and August, which I'll show you now. So during the World Cup, myself and Paul will be back in our normal slots at 8 a.m. each Saturday during the World Cup with On the Sidelines World Cup Weekly, where we will cover England and all the results from the World Cup up to that date, any news and any sort of Cherries news that's relevant throughout that tournament as well. So you haven't got to wait all the way to August to see us again. It's only a couple of weeks. And myself and Paul will be back live on a Saturday morning with World Cup Weekly.
Just one thing, Matt, just for the viewers, and then we're off. The first game is on Thursday, the 11th of June, and Colin, who comments on the show, will notice it's Mexico versus South Africa on Thursday, the 11th of June. That's the first match in the World Cup.
Yeah, so we will be on Saturday, the 13th of June then.
I'd say
Our first
correct.
will be when we'll be back.
Yeah.
So a few weeks off, but we will be back. Just to go through some of the comments just before we finish up, guys, and then we have got to finish for today.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to find my place where I was because I don't want to miss anybody out. I saw Sydney FC live last season in Singapore. You certainly did. I do remember that. And they lost that game. Venus and Mars, great rock album.
Yeah, so many.
Sure did. Check out Cherry Abroad. Lions City Sailors were a very good side. Was out in a local bar last night and saw a bloke wearing a Forest shirt. Asked if he was looking forward to be in 18th game undefeated for Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Nick saying thanks there for the sub. Winkle Biggers. Thank you both. Thank you to you for joining us, Julie, as always, and the gang. My first concert, Josh, was at the Winter Gardens, stayed, and I saw Queen there in 1975. Well, I'd love to have seen Queen there in 1975, but that was 10 years before I was born. But anyone that knows me, I'm a complete Queen fanatic. So Dad had a Morris 1100. Yeah, great show, guys. And we are looking forward to Sunday as well. Let's hope we get the result. Talking of famous fans questions, who would you say is the most famous Rotherham fans? Well, I think that might be something along the lines of to me to you. Thanks, Matt and Paul. Thanks, Murray.
That's Johnny. That's what I tell him. I'm skint. He likes it because he's American. John used to be a captain in the American Army.
Yeah. Oh, cheers, John, for joining us as always. Great show, Matt and Paul, up the Cherries. Great to have you with us, Chris. Always enjoy the shows. Excellent. Cheers, David. Thanks for your support. And see you in a few weeks, John. Definitely we will. Great show, guys. Have a great weekend. Andrew, Malcolm, I'm sure we'll be catching up at some point. And again, thanks to all your support and for backing up my knowledge in the chat when I need a bit of help.
Very good.
Vanessa, thanks, guys, for all your hard work. Look forward to the cup shows. Yeah, absolutely. Hope to see you there, Vanessa. Great show. Yeah, thank you, Daz. Thanks for your support. Thanks for all your jokes as well that you chuck in for a bit of humour. And hopefully see you during the World Cup shows as well. And don't forget, spot the ball. I knew somebody would.
Good man.
We better quickly do this. I've got to rush through this quickly. I do apologise, guys. Right, so guesses. D from Malcolm, D from Darren, D from Vanessa, D from Chris, D from Dan, D from Colin, C from Julie, D from David, D from Nick, and D from David. Right, very quickly then. And it is a little bit frustrating because he never sees this, but he always seems to blag it. And it's C. So I don't quite know what Paul's magic is, but he always seems to get it right. And I promise you, he never sees this.
Matt, I just want that end of season check in the mail by Monday, okay? Is that all right with you?
That's fine. No worries. No worries. Right. Guys, I've got to go now. But thank you for all your support. And we'll see you during the World Cup weekly shows. Like we say, starting on June. I had to get that right. June the 13th. So we'll see you then for the next edition of On the Sidelines.
Thank you for everybody.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
TalkSport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
I should be like you, Mel.